shake this world up like Parkinson's disease. Yo, crush not the enemy, but I knock the enemy faster than Jones consecutively, dropping steadily. We on the box, feeling teams, the top pedigree, spiritual food, be it a king, the god entity. I solely do this so that dudes can get this, and they can accurately come to their senses. So ladies don't think they have to pursue their fitness, cause you can't be a Christian and be bootylicious. That's why I'm married, of course, and I carry the cross down the aisle in my wedding like I'm married across. Feeling the course, ready to stop famine and sorts and knock it out, cause the violent snitching it by force. Let's knock it out. So throw those fists in the air, cause inception in the spirit, any spirit in the air. Let's knock it out. Yo, we fighting back in here through witnessing and prayers. Evolution is yeah. Let's knock it out. So throw those fists in the air, cause inception in the spirit, any spirit in the air. Let's knock it out. Yo, we fighting back in here through witnessing and prayers. Evolution is yeah. We in the ring like a spiritual square circle with lyrics so share virtue, but critics are there first too. Critically criticize minimal kids the worst views, but we ain't trying to see physical ways to turn to. Cause I'm battling with flesh and bone or blood, but principalities, so you best to know that Jesus Christ, so make sure that a debt is gone. He's all natural, you can't get a clone. So what's the pressing and stressing? Yo, we knock it out. And what's gossip and nonsense? Yo, we knock it out. Bickering and bitterness? Yo, we knock it out. Anything that ain't a witness of God, we knock it out. This is the time to defeat the prankster, but rely on God. Don't you try to be the master. Don't let pride have you reap disaster. I'm glad you just got saved, but I ain't trying to teach the pastor. Let's knock it out. So throw those fists in the air, cause inception in the spirit, any spirit in the air. Let's knock it out. Yo, we fighting back in here through witnessing and prayers. Evolution is yeah. Let's knock it out. So throw those fists in the air, cause inception in the spirit, any spirit in the air. Let's knock it out. Yo, we fighting back in here through witnessing.
Hello, my name is Sifu Mark Masari. I am the head instructor here at the APLEA Training Academy. I decided to talk to you a little bit today about the Krav Maga program we have here, as well as the ranking structure. We have we're going to cover on this video yellow belt requirements, but I'm also going to explain to you that there's a couple different methods. If you have a Krav Maga program in your area, this might be slightly different than what you are doing. What we do at headquarters is we make sure that we cover a little bit of everything. The problem is, in a traditional ranking system, you can't just say, okay, you were just going to learn hand-to-hand stuff on yellow belt, and then we're going to learn weapon defenses on the higher belts, and then we're going to learn multiple attackers for the highest level. Because the problem is you take 5 months of Krav Maga, and if you're lucky, you get to cover all the hand-to-hand stuff, and you go out on the street and the guy pulls a knife, you've never seen a knife before. That becomes a problem. So a lot of the material that we're going to be working with is kind of a compilation of multiple Krav Maga instructors that we've had in our organization, as well as my own background. I've been doing martial arts over 22 years. I've been studying Wing Chun Kung Fu. My first Sifu, Don Green, is still my Sifu. And also I have multiple Krav Maga instructors, Moshe Katz, Nir Maman, and Boaz Avarim, Mike Lee Kinerick, and even I've taken seminars with some of the others, as far as like Darren Levine. And so I pretty much consider myself a lifetime student. So I believe that you who are learning this are coming to me not because you think of me as the master instructor, but because you believe that I'm giving material that you can use, that's practical, and that you can start to use right away. So different types of testing. So in a traditional system, you have, it starts at yellow and it goes up to black belt. Or, yellow belt being your first test after white. And some people test for their white belt, but kind of depends what you want to do. Another system is where you would just come to instructor trainings and multiple levels of instructor training. Some people don't have belts, they have levels. So what we've done here at APLEA, we have a bunch of different systems of grading that are based on what is better for you. So we've developed the instructor program. We have several instructors, affiliate schools that have come to us through the instructor program, where they come to multiple days of intensive training, and then they do follow-up training with us through our monthly newsletter, as well as coming to additional trainings. And then we have other schools that are not able to make it out here as often from other countries. In fact, these videos are being put together. I'm actually kind of dedicating these videos to our school in Nairobi, Kenya. They're our first Krav Maga school in Kenya, and actually in Africa right now. So they're unable to make it to a 2-day instructor course because of the cost, and right now not cost effective for me to go there. So this is the solution. So what I've done in this video series is I've broken it out. So you're going to cover portions of gun, knife, club in each of the tests. So in each of the video series. So in yellow belt you're going to have a little bit. In orange belt you're going to have a little bit, instead of just saving it all for one belt. All right. Obviously, as the belts progress and it gets more advanced, you're going to be learning stuff like, you know, one guy's coming at you with a gun, another guy's coming at you with a knife, and you're also fighting multiple attackers. So there's a lot more complex stuff that you're going to be dealing with as we go forward. But today is a very important video. My Sifu used to say that the basics are the most important, because what's going to happen is you're going to learn the foundation. So we're going to start today with a drill that is developed by Nirman Man, who is what I will always call my Krav Maga instructor, because he really showed me what is different between his system and all the other Krav Magas out there, because it's a very simple and comprehensive way to understand Krav Maga. You know, so this is, hopefully I'm doing the same thing for you guys and helping you to kind of make sense of Krav Maga. So this drill is called weapon and target flow drill. I believe this is the closest thing to a kata in Krav Maga, because in Krav Maga there's no katas or forms or patterns. So this is kind of a drill that's done with two partners. With my children's classes I do it step by step. I call out the numbers. But with adult classes, it's good to be done with partners, because basically then you can get distance, you can learn different techniques, and it becomes hardwired into you what it is you need to do in a self-defense situation. So let me show you some of that. So you're going to get two people, you're going to kind of square them off. One person, they're going to go in like kind of like a fighting stance, all right? And one person is going to just begin to deliver all these strikes, okay? Now, this is not how you're going to fight for real. This is just a drill, okay? It's used a lot of times in our classes as a warm-up, getting into the class. And so this way everybody gets a little bit of practice in this, and then we go into the class material. So first one is groin kick, all right? And I'm going to talk about each of these techniques later, all right? But let me just cover the drill first. Groin kick, push round, low side kick, eye strike, nose punch, throat strike, ear clap, headbutt, eye gouge, elbow, carotid strike with a forearm, knee to the groin, kick the groin, and then this would be called our reference points 1 and reference point 2. All right, so I'm going to show you that again. You don't want to do it too fast. You basically want to do it, when I have a student who's first learning it, I tell them to just learn first 3 or 6 moves, and they practice that, while the students who have been doing it a while, they can go all the way through it. Also, we're going to learn about takedowns a little bit later on, and some of the students that are more advanced at this will do things like takedowns. We also have drills where one person is doing weapon target flow drill, and the instructor will come around. This is developed by Sean Talbot, one of the co-owners of the APLEA Training Academy, and he'll come around and he'll do stress drills while people are focused on doing the weapon target flow drill, which I think is genius. So, all right, so again, I'm just going to show it to you. I'm going to roll all the way through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14 is reference point 1 and reference point 2. All right, so that is the weapon target flow drill. We spent a lot of time training that. I believe that if you train this, if this becomes part of the core of your Krav Maga, that is what's going to make your Krav Maga look like our Krav Maga. It's going to make the Krav Maga in another state or another country all look like APLEA Krav Maga. All right, and also our parent organization of CT707, which is Nirman Man's organization, will look. There's commonalities in that as well. All right, next we're going to just talk about some of the techniques. And in order to talk about techniques, you have to understand that Krav Maga is not about techniques, it's about concepts. It is a concept-based system for self-defense. So what that means is that every system has punches, every system has kicks, every system has defense against a headlock or a choke. What we're going to give you is all of those techniques, but we're also going to give it to you with concepts, okay? The first concept of Krav Maga is action versus reaction. Action versus reaction basically means that if somebody's trying to attack me, I don't want to let them throw the first punch. I want to move into action quicker, okay? So if Abby's coming in to attack me, I sit here and wait for the first punch and then try to do a block, it's going to be problematic because she already has the advantage of moving into action first. Okay, so which is going to be the case in any self-defense situation. All right, so what we might do is as she moves, here, take a step back. We're trying to do this without going out of camera. All right, she moves in, I'm going to begin to attack already. Or I'm going to begin to attack already with one of these techniques. All right, so that's the first concept we're going to keep as primary in our yellow belt testing and throughout our Krav Maga. Action versus reaction. Action is always quicker. Action always beats reaction. I'll give you a short story. My instructor told us in training about dominoes. If you take 2 rows of dominoes, little dominoes, and you set them up, and you have 2 people, and their dominoes are equally spaced, and they're going down in a line, and you say, all right, who's going to win that race? And the answer is going to be what? Whoever pushes that first domino. So that's how we win engagement. That's how we win fights, okay? We're not trying to get into a fight. Krav Maga is defensive, not offensive. We're not trying to start fights. But once we realize that we're in a situation that we cannot get out of, we have to become offensive in order to be able to effectively defend ourselves, okay? So it's kind of a paradox. And the next concept we're going to talk about is center line theory. It's foundational to Krav Maga. The idea of center line theory is if she's punching, all right, she's coming straight down the center line towards me. In order for me to be able to defend, I have to affect the center line, okay? Let's say she's going to grab my throat. If I don't do anything to affect the center line, I start punching and kicking, as she's moving into action, she's going to get the choke and she's going to hurt me, all right? So now, when she's coming in for the choke, I affect center line with a technique, that's going to stop her from being able to cause damage. And also, when I attack, I'm going to control the center line. I'm going to be the one on center line, not her. Okay, so those are some of the basic concepts we're going to be working with today. All right, so let's talk about kicks. All right, front kick, side kick, round kick, knees. These are all the techniques that are in Krav Maga. These techniques are not just in Krav Maga. They exist in Muay Thai. They exist in Wing Chun. They exist in a lot of different systems, okay? Karate, Taekwondo. We're going to just talk about how ours are different a little bit in Krav Maga. So one of the ways they're different is we're not kicking to the head very often, okay? The only people I really teach high kicks to in my school is the kids, and there's a reason for that. One reason is it's good athletics, it's fun, it requires skill, but more importantly, and more common sense Krav Maga reason why I would teach a high kick to a kid is because of the size. They're this tall, and the adult is this tall. So if I just teach them kick low, in order to even kick me to the groin, they're going to have to kick higher than our adults are going to kick. But if you're an adult and you're an average sized person against another average sized person, it's dangerous to kick high. If my leg goes flying way high like this, one problem is I have less balance on the other leg. The other problem is, depending on the terrain that I'm in, I could lose my footing. I had a student, I tell this story all the time, and he had joined my school probably about 15 years ago, and I was teaching him keep the kicks low. Keep the kicks low. He's like, well, Sifu, I love the kicks that are high. I'm like, all right, well, do your thing. So he goes and he gets jumped in his neighborhood. He lived in a rough city neighborhood, and the first thing he thought of when he went back to the training he had done until he started training with me, and he did a spinning kick. Blew out his knee and injured himself, and 15 years later his knee has never been the same. So that's why I recommend, if you're going to kick, you want to get your foot up, kick, put it back on the ground as fast as possible. Okay? Let's talk about groin kick. Why in Krav Maga, this is what makes Krav Maga a little bit different. Why do we kick the groin in Krav Maga? Alright? Question. It seems like, isn't that a cheating move for martial artists? No, we're not talking about martial arts. When we talk about Krav Maga, we're talking about bad guys trying to hurt you, and you're trying to protect yourself. So, for example, if I'm twice the size of my daughter, okay, if I'm the bad guy and she's the good guy, she wants to use everything in her power to keep me away from her, to keep me from hurting her, and to get to herself to safety. So how we use a groin kick. Grab this pad here. There's several ways you can demonstrate this with your students. If you have a pad or something like this, all right, you can hold this here, and the other person's going to be doing the groin kick. All right, so that is a groin kick. You're going to aim. Your foot is going to be pointed here. If you hold this, all right. My hands. There's different philosophies on groin kicks as well. So there's different types of groin kicks. We're not going to go into them. I'm going to just teach the most basic kind, which is the one I like is I kick to the groin, but my hands are going to stay up. Okay. There's other types of groin kicks where you drive your hands back for balance. The problem with that I see is that it depends on the type of kick. It depends on how far you are between you and the attacker. Okay. I like to have my hands up because the next thing that's going to happen, if you hit the groin, you need to follow up with another strike. If you don't hit the groin, that means that they're attacking you. So you need to keep your hands in to protect yourself. So this way you can kick and then move in, bang, bang, right? Move right into action. All right, so that is groin kick. The next kick is front kick. All right, now this is not in the weapon and target flow drill that I just showed you, but a groin kick is a front kick. But a traditional front kick, like the one I'm going to talk about, is just a pushing kick. All right, it's what I tell my students, it's the kind of kick that like the police officers will kick your door down with. It is a kick that you're going to try to use to keep people away from you. Okay, a groin kick is just as effective, but sometimes this might be a reason you'd use this instead of a groin kick. Might be for sparring. It might be in a situation where you have multiple attackers and you need to keep people away from you. Your target area with the front kick is mid-range here, okay? Preferably lower here, midsection, because what you want to do with the front kick is bang, you want to double them over, all right, and get them moving away from you, okay? This is where it's different in Krav Maga. You're not going to target with the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot, the ankle of the foot with all of our kicks, because in Krav Maga, we're going to assume that for the most part, you're going to have some sort of shoes on your feet. All right, you're going to be outdoors. You're not going to be in a dojo. So it doesn't really matter what the angle of your foot is, okay? With a front kick, you're just going to use your whole bottom of your foot, okay? So I'm going to stand right here. Hold this pad. So what you're going to do, again, I like the hands up, okay? Because this way I can follow up. Another reason I use kicking in Krav Maga is because if I affect somebody here at a long range, okay, I can immediately move into medium range. All right, I want to be effective in every single range. Long, medium, close, and ground. Whatever range I find myself defending myself in, I want to be able to use it. If all I taught you guys was elbows, then I would have to run in and do an elbow because I wouldn't know anything else. All right? So a kick is a way to keep a bad guy away from you before he even gets to you. Okay? You're going to chamber your knee. All right? You lift your knee and kick. All right? Let me take a step in. All right? You can kick from the front leg, right? Or you can kick from the back leg. All right? So you're driving, your hands are up, all right? The other one is side kick. Side kick, I'm just going to show you real quick. The only difference between front kick and side kick is the attacker is on the side of you. So instead of me taking an extra step and turning and then doing a front kick, I am right from a position of side kick, lifting my knee up, and throwing that kick. I'm sideways already, and I'm throwing that kick. All right? Let me talk a little bit about moving side kicks. You can do a side kick where you step in and throw the side kick. I am okay with that, but understand that if you are that far away from a person, that's only for closing the distance. If you're that far away, you might even be able to get away. So the kind of side kicks that I want you to be able to use are ones you can deploy very fast. You lift your leg up, you throw the kick out. All right? And the next one is round kick. Round kicks are delivered in Krav Maga. Once you see how I'm showing you the basic front kick, side kick, round kick, I'm going to show you Krav modifications for them, okay? So, round kick, in any system, like I said already, we're not aiming for the up high, all right? We're aiming lower because less chances of getting caught. If somebody grabs your leg out of the air and dumps you, you're going to have a problem. Less chance of you hurting yourself, we've already talked about that. And if you're in a multiple attacker situation, you do not want one leg off the ground because you have the inability to move and change directions. You can't halfway through the kick decide, oh, I'm going to move this way. You have to wait and deliver that kick. You're fully committed. All right? So, round kick, again, you can do round kick from the front leg. All right? Or more powerful round kick from the back leg. All right? So, you start from the back leg and drive the round kick. All right? Now, I don't consider in my training prior to coming into Krav Maga, I didn't do a whole lot of round kicking. I did a lot more straight front and side kick, and the round kicking that I would do would be low to the ground. All right? Come here, Abigail. Fighting stance. All right. Where our target area is for the round kick. Maybe here. This is about as high as you want it to here. All right? Boom. All right? You're taking it, or here. But, again, why are we kicking that high? If I can move in effect here, I'd much rather do that. Okay? So, Krav round kick. Let's talk about the variation of what we do. Switch your stance. Instead of coming from here, from the back leg, and delivering a full round kick like that, what we're going to do is we're just going to come and push forward. All right? So what this is going to do is, this is going to do exactly what I just did, is as this pushes, it drives them off balance. It causes them to fold, all right? Which is a very effective kick, and it's also hard to block because it's kind of like a round kick, but it's moving straight. All right? So, let me just show you with the pad. All right, so I'm coming like a round kick, and then I'm turning straight. So hold those a little lower. All right, these are low kicks too. Just like that. Pushing down and straight. All right, that's a pushing round kick. So that's the one from the weapon and target flow drill. Side kick in Krav Maga, also your target area is the legs. All right, we have a saying, you want the hands take care of the upper body, legs take care of the lower body. That works as long as you're both standing up. Okay, obviously the advanced concept of that is if I'm on the ground here like this, all right, I'm not worried about kicking her to the head or punching her to the head even. I'm going to target the groin here. I'm going to hit those target areas wherever I have them. All right? Let's talk about blocking. Vertical sweep. All right, this is one of the foundational blocks of Krav Maga. It's going to come like this. You're going to sweep across the body, okay? Hands up in a fighting stance. Again, this concept of center line, she's coming in to attack my center line. I'm going to sweep, clearing center line. All right, then I'm going to move in, okay? My hand is going to go from a sweeping motion to a bar arm motion where I can hit over the top, okay? So she comes in, here, here. All right, show the other side, punch, okay, go ahead. Here, here. All right, also same side you just did. Here, here, or the other punch, switch. Here, notice I can do this to the inside or to the outside. To the inside, which is the live side. Put your hands up. This is the live side, where I have to deal with both hands. This is the dead side, where I have to deal with one side to moving to behind. This is what our objective was going to eventually be for Krav Maga. We do not want to stay fighting them from the front because why? They can punch, they can kick, they can see us. Okay? We want to eventually get to a place what we call in Krav Maga the point of dominance, which is back here. I have control of the head. All right, I can affect damage here. I can affect damage here, and they really can't affect me. So that's the idea. So vertical sweep. A couple things about it. One, you want your elbow to be off your body about a fist and a half. Okay, if it's too close to your body, this is going to get collapsed into you. Okay, if it's too far away from your body, you're not going to have a lot of strength in it. You want to keep it close to your core, where all your strength is. Here, so it's at like a 45 degrees to your body, okay? Another thing about Krav Maga is a little bit different, is you want to be bladed forward a little bit. When you're moving to attack, you're not sitting way back like this. You're moving in. Your aggressive posture, you're driving to where you can get to control. So we're going to talk about how we do this with a vertical sweep. We've talked about how we're going to do this with clearing center line, but we're going to talk about how we do it with kicking. Okay? Then we call this check. Okay? So if somebody's kicking straight at me, what are we going to do? I'm going to get off the center line, move out of the way. All right? Get off the center line. Okay? I'm also going to use my hands. Okay? But instead of doing a block downward like this on a leg, okay, or clearing block like this, that could cause me to get hurt right here, or hurt, on this part of the arm, or wherever, or my hand, it could get hurt here. I'm just going to literally use this for allowing it to guide off, all right? So if she does front kick, all right, kick. Okay, you see what I'm not doing? I'm not blocking. I'm just clearing, all right? That's what we do. Now, I say this to students all the time. If you don't hit with the block, but you're able to get out of the way, that's the advantage. Okay, a couple other things too. When she kicks, I'm going to clear, and I need to move in to attack, okay? I don't want to just move away. If I clear, move away, she's going to reload, the attacker's reloading, and they're coming at you again. So you want to move out of the center line, but you also want to stay close enough where you can counterattack. All right? So that works for straight kicks. Straight kicks we call front kick, groin kick, side kick. Those are coming straight at you. Straight punches, we're going to talk about in a second. But basically, in Krav Maga, we try to simplify things as much as possible. Straight attacks and circular attacks. Things that are coming out of your peripherals, all right? Round kicks, hooks, elbows. These are all circular techniques. Things that are coming straight. Grab, push, hitting the face, diving in. These are all things coming straight at you. So when the attack comes at you straight, what you want to do is clear center line, all right? When it comes at you circular, you're going to move in, okay, for the most part. You can do that in a couple of ways. You can move in at an angle. You can move it in just straight. All right, depending on the type of kick, I like to recommend moving it in at a slight angle so that you're close enough to hit, but you're out of the line of attack. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. But all right, so that basically covers basic blocking, basic kicking. We haven't covered punching yet, so let's talk about the different punches of Krav Maga. You want to go grab me those pads? Punching mitts? So, punching for Krav Maga. Now keep in mind, we just did the weapon target flow drill. We had an eye strike, okay? If you're teaching somebody to defend themselves, it's much simpler to teach them poke them in the eyes than it is to teach them how to deliver a proper punch, okay? I'm not going to go in depth with how to punch here, but let me just say, for those of you who've never done any martial arts before, you want to close your fist like this and wrap the thumb around the outside. Also, with punching, there's lots of different types of punching, lots of different philosophies. What we are looking for is speed over power. We don't want the traditional martial arts power concept is great, but the problem is we're not trying to break through a stack of bricks or a stack of boards. We're trying to, as fast as possible, affect the other person so that we can stop the threat. All right? So, first, here, that's fine. Just put one on. All right? So, you can use focus mitts to practice punching. Okay? So, there's a few different punches I'm going to show you. All right? First one is jab and cross. This is traditional boxing. You're going to get in a bladed stance. Come over here a little bit. All right? You're going to get in a bladed stance. You're not neutral right now. I'm a little bit bladed. My knees are always stay bent. My feet are in a position where I can move backwards or forwards, okay? And my punch is going to come straight out, okay? I don't like to typically turn my punches. I'll let you guys make your decision as far as what you want to do. I don't turn my punches. I believe that takes too long, all right? Hands up. All right, I'm just going to throw the punch straight out. So as I close my fist, my punch just comes straight out. If I show you the camera, closing the fist. Closing the fist. That's all I'm worried about. Natural. I believe in order to turn it in this way, this might be a little unnatural. And to turn it this way might be a little unnatural. You might feel tension in the shoulder. Just want to close it, okay? Just want to close it. Doesn't matter. I want you to feel comfortable with this. Just fast. Again, a jab could also be an eye jab, okay? So, this here. That's a jab. Your front hand is affecting the bad guy. It's not meant to knock him down. It's meant to affect him very quickly from boxing, okay? Second one. Cross. That's the backhand, right? A cross, right? This is more of a power hand. This is your backhand. If you're standing on your fighting stance is in your strong side, which means your strong hand is back and your weaker hand is forward. Your less dominant hand. So you're going to do this. Jab, cross, okay? Right? You're affecting the bag. You're affecting the pad. So jab, cross. Again, see, my hands are just closing. I'm not necessarily turning my hand any specific way, okay? Doesn't make sense to do that. I also believe that the reason why punching exists is to protect the fingers. Nobody ever told me that I remember. Maybe they did. But my theory on it is, what's the most common sense reason why you would close your hand to punch somebody? It's because you don't want these things broken. So we're not worried about punching somebody for round after round after round like you would do in boxing. Fight should be over in seconds. So we're just worried about getting that initial strike, making first contact, and then from there, following up with multiple other contacts. All right, so that's jab and cross. All right, the next one, hooks. All right, you're not going to deliver these to low. You're going to deliver them high to the head. Most of our target areas in Krav Maga is the head, because the head is where the brain is. And you think about the human body, and a human like a computer, this is what you want to shut down, the brain, okay? You want to shut down the power source. You know, it's not my punch that's most dangerous, it's the brain sending a signal to my arm to punch you, okay? So you want to shut that down. If you're affecting the target area, then you're going to keep me from thinking, you're going to keep me from being able to fight back. All right, so jab, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut, elbow, elbow, knee, knee. All right? So this is a little drill that I do with students as well. So why don't we do this drill? Put that down. So I'll start, here, just stay over here next to me. You tell all the students, get in your fighting stance, all right? And then you just start with drill. Jab, cross, right? Jab, cross, and you get everybody doing it. This is kind of a little warm-up. Then you go, okay, jab, cross, hook, hook. This also I learned from here, this little drill. Then you add uppercuts, jab, cross, hooks, uppercuts. All right, and you're warming up with the drill. Then you add elbow, elbow. All right, jab, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut, elbow, elbow, then back knee, switch, back knee. All right, so now we have the knees in Krav Maga. So that's a little drill you can do at the beginning of a class. All right, so that covers punching for the most part, except for another punch that I like to use that comes from my Wing Chun background. My Sifu Don Green taught me this. I was delighted to learn when I went to Krav Maga. A lot of Krav Maga has a Wing Chun background to it. A lot of, you're gonna see. If you come from a karate background, taekwondo background, there's things in Krav Maga that you learned before you ever met me. There's things in Krav Maga that you already understand because you've trained good martial arts. So there's also things that you've never thought of that all of a sudden you're going to hear me explain, like, well, this is why we defend a gun this way. This is why we defend a knife this way. That will probably make you feel like, oh, I like that one better. So if you do, that's where I recommend you do it that way. So anyways, we're going to deal with the straight blast drill, okay? A couple different ways to teach this. But basically the idea is center line, okay? Now we talked about the natural curvature of the arm, you don't want to be turning unnaturally, all right? If my punch from here, if I form a fist, if my hands come up like this, right? What this means, normally from my body without trying to affect them, it means that when I'm down here, my punch is a little bit more like this. When I'm in the middle to the chest, this is where my punch is. When I come up high, it's going to be turned a little bit more at an angle this way. Again, a lot of this depends on how you're standing. This is right now I'm standing in a neutral stance. I'm not standing bladed like this because it's going to be a little bit different. All right? So, again, the idea of straight blast, Okay, one after the other after the other. There's a Krav Maga concept called retsev. Retsev basically means repeating. It means pressure, okay? You repeat, I'm sorry, it doesn't mean repeating, it means pressure. The idea of repeating attacks to the point where you're going to keep the bad guy off base, off balance. All right, so you want to do that. So these are like jabs. For those of you who understand boxing, you should be able to deliver these very quickly because they're not requiring a lot of power. You're not requiring a lot of, you see, I'm not winding up to throw this, okay? In a fight situation, all right, so she's moving forward here. All right, I can, the minute I hit, boom, 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 I'm moving in and I'm attacking and I'm switching my attacks up, okay? So that I can have a very, very powerful effect on a bad guy. Put that down for a second. Here's the fighting stance. Maybe the first time I hit in the range, maybe I throw a kick, right? Then I throw a punch, nothing happens. I throw another punch, nothing happens. Now I throw another punch, I really hit. Now I'm able to affect the head. Now I'm moving in, now I'm able to drive an elbow. See how you're progressively closing that distance. That's what you want to do with Krav Maga. Why do we only punch? Why are we not just going to punch once or kick once and back away? All right? Let's just talk about that for a quick second. Because, again, Abigail's fighting me, okay? I'm a big guy, she's a woman. She weighs half as much as I do, okay? If she just does one thing and stops, what's going to happen? She's going to piss me off. She's make me angry. She's not going to hurt me, okay? Or if she hurts me, it's a very small moment in time, and then I'm going to recover. So she's going to continue to hit me with retsev, that concept of retsev. She's going to hit me high, she's going to hit me low, she's going to hit me repeatedly until she is able to break away. All right? So, I'm moving in to attack her. I throw something, she's going to defend, and she counterattacks not just once, but she's going to continue to explode into action with punches, elbows, knees, whatever target area is open. One thing you got to keep in mind about this retsev punching is it's only going to work so much until or centerline punching is another name for it. It's going to work until it doesn't. Eventually, guy's going to cover here. Now he's got his hands up. Now what are you going to do? You're not going to keep punching his hands. You're going to drive low. You're going to drive to a different angle, okay? So that's what's important. All right, at this point, there's a lot more we can get into. Again, this is yellow belt video, so I'm not looking for you to master all these concepts. I'm just looking to introduce them to you. For those of you who've already have martial arts background, you can see, oh, they got kicks, they got punches, they got blocks, okay? Some of the blocks we haven't done, checks, okay? In Krav Maga, we have checks. Let me just roll through a few different blocks that we have in Krav Maga. So if she throws a punch, check, all right? This is going to be mid-forearm range, okay? This is a little bit farther away than this one, all right? So there's some advantages about doing either of them, okay? Another block, same punch, is called wing arm, okay? Punch, wing arm. Basically, I'm moving out of the way, okay? And I'm clearing center line by moving out of the way with the block, and now I can move in and attack, okay? And I can close the gap for getting control, for reference points, for following up and getting head control, all right? Next one. So, vertical sweep, check, checking punch, wing arm, all right? We'll go more into these on different videos. Plus, if you're part of my monthly program, I'll spend more time on all of these different things. We just, right now, are trying to give you a whole bunch of information in a short video. All right? So, go ahead, attack. All right, attack. All right, what am I doing now? I'm checking and attacking same time. This is another Krav Maga concept. If at all possible, we don't want to go block, then punch. We want to block and punch, okay? Another way you could do this too is in a circular attack. We call this 360 defense, okay? In a traditional martial arts setting, there's names for this block. There's names for this block. We're not worried about names. We're not worried about what they are in Israeli, Hebrew, okay? We're not worried about what they are in Chinese, Korean, whatever, Japanese. We just worried about the technique because that's what's going to save your life, right? So, but the 360 concept, let me just explain this because it's a Krav Maga concept, is that instead of teaching all these different blocks, I'm going to teach you the concept of, by doing this, I can cover the whole circle, okay? Except for straight, you can cover the whole circle of angle attacks. So we call this 360 block, the whole thing, every one of them. This is a low 360 block, this is a high 360 block. Okay, so if she comes in circular, I'm driving, I'm also looking, I'm hitting at the same time. Because you want to affect him, you want to shut down the computer as fast as possible. Swing, right? Now moving in, I'm going to begin to strike and attack, okay? Again, this has to work not just for the big bad martial arts guy, this has to work for the 15-year-old, it has to work for the small woman, it has to work when you're outnumbered, okay? Anything that, there is things, if you are a big guy, that will work easily for you, okay? Or if you are a smaller individual, but you're very strong and quick, you might have a lot more speed, and there's things you're going to find easier to do. So the goal of Krav Maga is to teach all of you how to utilize those strengths, but also to teach you a system that works for every situation. All right? We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you some weapon stuff. All right, welcome back. We're going to talk now about a different weapon system in Krav Maga and give you some basics at the yellow belt level to basically get started. One more thing about the ranking system I just want to talk about is the belts are broken up into a course of 2 to 3 years, okay? Year 1 we'll call level 1, which includes your yellow and your orange. So 2 belts in each year, okay? If you're testing in a traditional setting with students, then you can add, what we've done is we've added at the 3-month mark kind of a halfway point. So first you test for yellow, then you would test for yellow with a black stripe. Then you would test for orange, then you test for orange with a black stripe. So you have 4 tests within a given year. Especially for a kids program, it helps them have something to look forward to. You don't have to wait 6 months. I remember my very first test in martial arts was, I think it was about 9 months, and there was so much information to test that it was very stressful for me. I was a teenager at the time. So you won't want to make it stressful, you want to make it benchmarks. I think testing should just, for the most part, testing should be about breaking up the material into bite-sized pieces so that it can be digested by the student and it could be assimilated, and he could learn the material, or she could learn the material. All right. If testing is too much of a proving ground, then what ends up happening is people get hurt. And also people get stressed out and do poorly on tests. They perform poorly. What I like to say is a test is the end result of the last several months of training. And so as an instructor, unless you have so many people in your class you can't even keep track of all these students, you should kind of know where the students are. You should know before they walk into that test if they're already a yellow belt or an orange belt, or they're just a white belt that needs more work. But I just caution, don't make it too hard. Don't make it to the point where, because every year I get better, hopefully, in martial arts. You as a martial arts person. So me at 22 years of martial arts have a higher standard than I did at 4 or 5 years in the martial arts, what I'm looking for out of people, because I've continued to learn the last 15 years. So as you grow as the instructor, don't make your students grow with you. They should still, the yellow belt test for the guy taking it this year should still be very similar to the yellow belt test 10 years from now that you test another yellow belt at. Don't, just because the standards for yourself are higher, don't make them higher for your students. Okay? And again, it's not about belts, but it's nice to have a belt system because it kind of lets the other students know where they're at. It lets the people who just joined the school and they walk in, and maybe somebody comes up to them and says, "You need to do it this way." And they look down, and this person is wearing a white belt. They realize, oh, this is not the teacher. I don't have to listen to them as much. Or they look down and they say, oh, this is a brown belt. This person's been training a long time, and he must know better than me. Unless, of course, the teacher walks by right behind him and says, don't listen to what he's saying. I'm teaching you. You listen to me. Okay? You always listen to how it works in the martial arts world. You listen to the guy with the most experience, has the most weight, and most respect with you. So, anyways, pre-deployment of a club, okay? We're going to deal with today, not the club swinging, okay? We're going to deal with the club before it even swings, all right? Pre-deployment of a weapon is something very, very new to me as far as in my martial arts experience, because most martial arts talk about once the weapon is already in motion, all right? Or once the weapon is already out and visible. One thing I like about Krav Maga is they deal with the potential guy pulling a weapon. You don't want to wait till he pulls the weapon. You would like to stop it while it's still in his pocket. Okay? So you always watch the hands. Most weapons are pulled from the waistband. So if the hand disappears and you're in a hostile argument, you're assuming this guy's going for a weapon. With a knife and a gun, you're not going to see it. You don't know if I'm about to pull a gun or a knife. With a club, a nice long club like this, you can tell. You know, the fight is happening like this, and at some point, this happens. You see this weapon all of a sudden appear, you know what's about to happen. So, person's holding the weapon, all right, what you're going to do, just hold it visible, all right. As soon as I realize that there's a weapon, what a club defense strategy is to close the distance as fast as possible. If I go, holy crap, it's a club, I step back, and then she swings at me, I'm going to be hurt, all right. We even taped off, here, hold the weapon up. We taped off the end of this with just regular tape because we want to show like this is the most dangerous part of this, okay? If the weapon is swinging at me and I'm able to move in, I'm a lot less hurt here than if I swing again. Boom, if that happens. So you want to move in with a weapon like this, okay, with a club. In fact, most of the things in Krav Maga, we're moving in. We're not moving backwards, okay? We can't control what's behind us. We don't see what's behind us. We can see what's in front of us, and we can control that a little bit better. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out and control the weapon arm, okay? I'm not going to try to grab this club. It might be too hard to do, okay? I'm going to either press the arm to the body, or if I can, use my thumb and secure with the arm here. The other hand, simultaneous attacking and defending, right? Is going to hit bang, bang, right? And I'm going to hit. Now here, step forward a little bit. Just to see how it is, right? So I see a club, boom, I'm moving in, I'm hitting, and then I'm securing two hands, okay? From this position, I can drive knees, all right? And then I can eventually take the person down, or, you know, here's a takedown. This is what a takedown looks like, where I can take the club away, all right? That's something a little bit more advanced than yellow belt, so we're not going to cover it today, but we will be covering it in the future videos. So, let's just go through it one more time. So, step one, I see a weapon, okay? I move into action. I spring forward, one hand here, the other hand is hitting, okay? If this was a knife or a gun, let me just give you a for example, because the pre-deployment of all weapons are pretty similar. I'll just show it to you. So, you see her reaching for a knife, put it like halfway under your shirt, right? So I see her reaching for a knife or a gun. Instead of hitting with one hand, I'm gonna, because I don't know what it is, I'm just gonna secure with two hands. If I can, as a byproduct, see, I can use the elbow to drive the face and try to keep that weapon here. That would be the best option. All right? Next one. Deployment of a club. What are you preventing? All right? The guy comes at you with a club. You see a club? What's going to happen? This is going to happen. He's going to begin to swing it at you. Okay? So you need to stop that as fast as possible. As soon as this comes into action, you have no idea whether it's high, medium, or low. Okay? You have no idea where it's coming. All of it happens from here. So what we call this, we nickname this, is diving through the window. Okay? Here's the window. Here, here, here. You're going to dive through the window, okay? So, you see the hand come up, dive, all right? I'm going to show you here. Here, stand right here. The same thing. So the hand comes up, I dive through the window here. As soon as I get through, now I'm going to pull my hands and secure. I'm securing this arm, I'm securing here so I can begin to knee, hit, okay? I can strike. So, show it this way. This way. Go. I'm diving, and then I'm securing. Bang. Once I don't try to block, because what happens? If I think about, I'm going to block, oh, I don't move in. I forget to move in. So I want to move in first. Diving through the window. All right? That is deployment of a club. Next, let's talk about a gun. Now, each of these, I recommend in your school. You could train. This yellow belt curriculum could be trained for a year. I'm giving you more information than you need, because at the bottom levels of Krav Maga is the most important stuff, okay? It's not the black belt stuff that's the most important stuff. It's the foundation. You think about a house. My Sifu told me this a long time ago. You know, the house, the concrete on the house, the foundation is the most important. The roof is not the most important. If you have a sloppy foundation, the whole house collapses. The middle part of the house, the walls, there's value in them, but they build on the foundation, okay? So If you think of your Krav Maga like that, what I'm giving you is just foundational concepts to think about as well as some techniques to get you started. I would practice these things, like that drill I just showed you. I showed you 2 different drills with the club. Practice them over and over and over until you can do them without even thinking, okay? Gun, okay? All different types of guns, okay? Long guns and handguns. Basically, the most dangerous part of this is right here, where the bullet comes out of, okay? The thing about a gun is I can grab onto the different parts of the gun, and a gun is pointed at me. The most dangerous thing that I have to deal with is what's called the line of fire. It's kind of like center line. It's the line that this bullet's going to come out and continue straight out of the weapon. And if I'm here, or if I'm way back here, I'm still in danger, okay? So, what we're going to do is affect the weapon as fast as possible. Actually, switch hands. I'm going to show, this is ambidextrous. I'll show you this, but this way you can see it. What you want to do, if you're going to push it one way, you're going to push you the other way, okay? There, step 1. If I'm this way, okay? The fastest way you can clear your body, okay? What you're doing to the gun is this. Okay, here's the gun. I'm grabbing. All right? This is going to affect the line of fire and grab. All right? So, gun points at me. 1, 2. Remember that hitting. We're kind of affect the computer, right? Boom. 3. Pull the gun. Your hand is going to come underneath like this and grab. Let me just back over a second. This part of the gun. This is where they're holding on. You're going to grab this part. So I'm pressure, grab the gun, peel away. Get back. You can't do it too much because of the camera, but you want to get back if you can, almost 10 feet. So you take a couple steps. So let's say I'm here on this part. I got the gun away. I'm going to move back, and I'm going to point the gun at the bad guy. Okay? There's other things you can do if you know firearms. What's called tap and rack. All right? This will reset the gun if it's jammed. Sometimes my students like to practice that. That's fun if you want to do that, but most important thing is getting away. All right? Gun. 1, 2, 3, and move away. All right? That's gun to the front. Next one is if it's close. It's touching you, right? Could you do this? Yes, you could. But another option is if it's touching you, is to pass and grab. All right? Here. Right? Bang, bang. Now look, I'm going to take this gun. All right? I'm going to reach, thumb down, grab so it pulls away from you. If I grab, hold on to this thing. All right, if I grab this way and pull this way, it's going to pull it towards me. I want to pull it away from me. So the way I do that is my thumb goes down and I grab this way. All right, so watch again. Touch. This is touching or close, right? Push, wrap, hit, take. Distance. Point the gun at the bad guy. Next one. Gun to the head. All right? Again, this could be touching the head. If it's farther away like this, then this is the exact same. Head or chest is the same. If she's pointing at my head, I can still affect it this way. If it's here, I can still do this, pass and wrap. Right? Watch what I'm doing too if I go in slow motion. As I pass the gun, I'm moving my head. All right? Here, moving my head. Moving in. Okay? All right? Another option. Okay? Driving the gun barrel this way. This might be the reason you would do this is because you have people here. Let's say your family and friends are right here behind you. You don't want to push the gun here because now your family member is getting shot. Okay, so you want to point the gun straight up. All right, so what you're going to do, go ahead, hold on 2 hands. This doesn't really matter whether it's 1 hand or 2 hands, so I'm just going to kind of show you. So you just want to go over here. All right, so what you're going to do, drive up and in, bang, and pull away. All right, motion caps, one of my instructors said that what's nice about this one is you can even blade. So instead of dropping to a neutral position, drop to bladed right away so you can drive forward. I like that. So here, point for me. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull back. All right, one more time, put it right here. So I'm driving down. See my head going down, the gun's going up. Driving forward and back. Tap, rack, and point. Alright, last one. Gun low. Again, there's a lot of these, okay? But the idea is to give you a few, every belt, get practice to get really good at. Try to give you the most common ones first. By the time you get higher up, halfway through the belt system, you have most of them, alright? By the time you get all the way through, of course, you have all of them under stress. This is what I'm going to do. I'm moving my body and I'm grabbing low. So anytime a weapon comes here, this is unnatural to go down like this. So I'm going to turn my hand. Now I can go this far. Alright? So with the hand is down here. Alright? I'm turning. I can do it the other way too. Turning, pulling the gun in. This hand's here. Ready to take. Alright? Hold the gun with this hand. Other hand so they can see. Again, these are all ambidextrous. There's a little bit different feeling that you're going to have if you go to one side versus the other side. There's a preferred side, but you can't make a preferred side in real life situations. So it has to be ambidextrous as much as possible. Alright? One, this hand is immediately coming up. So both hands are underneath. Alright? I can break this off right here, or, other option, here is I drive the gun into their stomach, knee them to the groin. Then I take the gun. Tap rack, alright? And point the gun at the bad guy. Real quick question, why am I pointing the gun at the bad guy? The answer is because anywhere else, you don't know what could happen. If I point the gun up in the air like this, and accidentally pull the trigger because I'm stressed out, somebody's up on the roof, and they get shot, and it's somebody innocent. Little kid is playing, and if I'm like, get away from me, and I'm pointing the gun at the ground, and the bullet bounces and hits somebody else. This bad guy that brought the gun is the only person that deserves to have this gun pointed at him. It's the safest place, and hopefully if this bad guy was thinking about moving in and continuing to attack, this pointed at him is going to keep him from doing that. Alright, let's talk about the knife. Knife is also a very dangerous weapon. This is probably the most common weapon that's used because they're easily to get a hold of, and also they're easy to hide. Not like a long club, is very easy to hide, okay? So we've already talked about if a guy's pulling a knife, pre-deployment, how to affect that. But let's talk about guys holding it out towards you, a knife threat, okay? They're holding it out here towards you, okay? You have the ability to reach, okay? The only time you have the ability to do this is when the knife is not moving, okay? If I'm going to move in and start attacking, you don't have the ability to go and grab the knife hand. It's too hard and too fast, okay? We have different strategies for that. We'll talk about it later time. But this is a knife threat. It's the simplest form of a knife situation, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to grab the knife. I'm not going to grab and try to push the knife. I'm just going to grab the hand. The hand I can hold on to for a split second. Again, I have a limited amount of time before they do something else, okay? So I'm going to hit and hit. I'm going to grab and hit. Just like I did with a gun. Notice it's very much the same as what I did with a gun. Okay, maybe their hand is grabbing me here. Alright, they're grabbing me, they're holding this knife, they're like, oh my gosh, I can still do this. Here, as I turn, look, my hand is coming up, hitting. I'm not worried about this hand holding on. I hit, and then I'm going to grab here behind the arm, pull this arm into me. Okay, now I have the arm with two hands, I can kick and groin and hit, and then I have other options. Show you this way. Alright, so I'm here, hitting, grabbing the arm. Because the reason why, if I don't want to bring the arm this way, because I could get cut in the process. From here, I'm grabbing the arm, pulling to the same side that I'm on. Alright, I can hit, I can eye gouge, I can break the arm. There's a lot of options I have. You want them to drop this knife. You do not want to try to take the knife out of their hand. Because if they pull back, you're getting cut all the way out. Okay? You see, the strategy, the method for knife defense for Krav Maga in our system is secure the weapon arm. Hold on to the weapon arm. Don't hold on to the knife. Okay? The gun you can hold on to, the knife you cannot. All right? Secure the arm. If you secure the arm, you can control the knife better. If you hit them, you affect their thought process. That's going to keep them from swinging this and getting this knife back. All right, let me do a couple more. One is here. Knife to the throat, crossways. See how I'm doing this? The knife is going across my neck, but it's up against my neck. Alright, the other hand could be holding on to if you want. Doesn't matter. This hand is going to push like a check. I showed you check earlier. The other hand is going to slip up in here to catch. Alright, it's going to come up in between the two hands. Catch and pull it in. Okay? Let's see, let's do it again. Alright, catch, pull it in. Alright, from here, you affect them, same way. Alright? I like to poke the eyes, because you keep them from looking at you, you can affect them more. Alright? One more time. Again, if they're holding on, it doesn't matter. You don't worry about this. This hand is not the problem. The knife is the primary problem. Here, 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 whatever. You're holding on. You're holding on. So you're doing damage, but you're coming back to two hands on the arm. Alright. Lastly, knife to this side. Okay? This is a little bit trickier. Go this way. Alright? First of all, watch. She holds on with the other hand. It doesn't matter again. She can or doesn't have to. If I turn, look, the knife comes off my throat. Turning, right? Secondly, using your hand like this, you're going to pin the knife arm to your body, which feels weird. You want to do this, pull it away, but you don't. But that's wrong, because as soon as I do this, she's going to pull the knife hand back, and I'm going to lose the control. Alright? So I'm going to pin. I'm also going to bring this up here between the two hands and vertical sweep, all at the same time to get this off the neck. Alright? Now, this is not a good position to be in for very long, so I'm going to hit, and then I'm going to move up. All at the same time. Okay, I've shown you in different stages. Ready? So, see how fast that is? We slow it down. Here, here, here. You get fast? It's fast, okay? You're hitting them so that you buy yourself a second to slide up and get more position on the arm, okay? That's all we're going to talk about today. Hope you enjoyed your yellow belt Krav Maga video, and look forward to talking to you next time. We're going to cover some of the orange belt stuff.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. None of us will ever forget this day. Yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night, and God bless America.
God bless America. Kids are raised from within, perversions, men raping women, and we wanna take God out of the plan. This is nonsense, this country just gotta repent. How can we offend God and be a people of fraud? God bless America, America bless God. Do we have to go to the days of 9/11 when half of 9/11 is not in heaven? I'm not judging, but common sense is relevant. Now we got a war and we blame the president. He's the only one to become a man within office to seek God's counsel. In the midst of all this, George Bush is pushed to reach the burning bush and pray Christ won't be overlooked. God bless America. No, America bless God. America stand up. America love God. No, America bless God. America wake up. America praise God. No, America bless God. America stand up. America love God. No, America bless God. America wake up. America praise God. Enemies of the country founded a call little by little. Turn around and revolve and become Americans. Set the city abroad. It's like